and each week joining us, Bud Kennedy from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram and Bernadine Steptoe, the political producer at WFAA in Dallas. Thanks to all for being here. We've got a lot to talk about here. Ross, let's start off with that abortion law that the whole nation has been talking about all week now. It is being taken up in the courts, the Justice Department saying that it is unconstitutional. Meanwhile, politically, a Washington Post columnist says this is the best thing that could have happened to the Biden-Harris administration because it took eyes off of Afghanistan and could energize Democrats.
It energizes a part of the electorate that wasn't necessarily paying attention. You know, the Republicans in Texas have been playing to Republicans in Texas, and now they have gone into abortion in a big way. And a lot of people who aren't watching politics are looking up. There's an argument that that will accrue to the benefit of the Democrats. I'm not sure how that plays out, but it'll be different than it would have been without this issue.
Bud, state Democrats have talked a whole lot about this. Can they really do anything more about it than just talk, though?
Well, of course, it won't help in Texas, but this is Kamala Harris' #1 issue. If you believe that she will be either at the top of or second on the ticket in the next presidential election, this is her strength. They're playing to her strong point.
Bernadine, I want to ask, what is this law going to mean in practice, and what do you think the political implications are going to be of this as it all plays out?
Well, I think that it's going to motivate those women, motivate us who don't necessarily see this as an abortion issue, but as a pro-choice issue. It takes away our right as women to choose what's best for us. And I think that's where you're going to get the motivation and get the eyes looking where they would not have looked in the past. It's more of a pro-choice than an abortion issue.
Ross, I want to bring our attention now to another law that was signed by Governor Abbott, and this one also headed for the courts. This is, of course, the new voting restrictions in Texas. A lot has been said about this. What do you think is going to come of it?
Well, I think we're going to go to court on this, and I also think this is foreshadowing for the partisan fight over redistricting, which also involves voting rights law. We're going to spend a lot of time after the next special session covering court cases involving voting rights, redistricting, and all the rest.
Certainly not over yet. In fact, we might be just at the beginning of this one. Depending on who you work for right now, you may be required to get a vaccine soon because, Bud, the Biden administration coming out with some bold steps this week regarding vaccinations and requirements for vaccinations, basically pulling out the sticks instead of the carrots now.
And this is more news that plays to voters. You look at the swing states. Having a vaccine mandate was very popular. The vaccine states and the vaccine voters in the country outnumber the anti-vax voters, and so the Democrats are gaining ground.
Yeah, and Bernadine, we can't ignore the polls on that one either. Some recent polling for President Biden not looking so great on the coronavirus front. And of course, that was a big part of what he ran on. So there are politics in this, but again, there's also that public health part of it to try to get those 80 million people in America who have refused to get the vaccine so far to get it.
Yes, and more people are moving toward wanting a mandate forcing people to take the vaccine because more people are getting sick and more people are dying. And it's going to be a winning issue for Democrats.
Ross, in our final seconds, what do you make of this? There's been a lot of outcry from the other side of the aisle that, we shouldn't be forcing people to do this.
Dueling mandates, the federal government wants the state's businesses and other businesses to vaccinate their employees. The state's punishing businesses that require their customers to be vaccinated. So we've got to fight over whose mandates get to win.
All right. Thank you all. And thank you for watching once again. Have a great week. We will be right back here to do it all again next Sunday.